Okay, this is a kind of an unboxing. I already took it out of the box, but a testing of the Shuttle Art permanent marker fine point pens, okay? These are obviously kind of a knockoff, an off-brand offering of the Sharpie brand version of the same thing. And then I also have the Amazon permanent marker here. Now I did a couple videos already, but they kind of ran long, so I'm just going to show you what I came out with my tests here. I tested these three pens on just cheap copy paper right here, okay? And then I did it on some matte cardstock, okay? And glossy cardstock, all right? Now, one of the things that I mentioned in my first shooting of these, but I'm just doing the recap now, is I found that these are all fairly similar in terms of their vehicle, okay? These two right here, the Amazon Basics and the Shuttle Art, feel to me like they're made in the same factory because it has the exact same cap and whatnot. But all three of these are, surprisingly to me, different, okay? Now, one of the things that I could tell right away when drawing with these is the Sharpie pen right here, and these were all brand new. The Sharpie one, the tip here, the fabric, is softer, okay, than both the Shuttle Art and Amazon. Okay, let me just show you right here too. And they look different as well. So let's go Sharpie, Shuttle, and Amazon, okay? And let me see if I can get in here, okay? All right, now you can see that Marvy, that tip there is more stubby, right? The Shuttle Art one's a little bit longer and more pointed, but look at this. The Amazon is very pointed. But that's not just the shape. This one goes soft, medium, and hard in terms of, you know, the relation with each other. The harder one, in terms of flow and tip shape, if I'm doing this little swooshy little thing, you can see it starts off a little bit darker and then it quickly goes pale. Now, I don't know if anyone that's going to be drawing with these things and doing that, but that was just my little test there. So by capillary action, you know, the rate at which something kind of absorbs that liquid into that tip right there, the harder it is, just in theory, it's going to have a slower kind of feed into that tip there. So when I go like that, you know, it's much lighter than something that's going to be very soft, okay? And if I do the same thing, so the ink is going to be flowing faster, I would guess, in the Sharpie right here, okay? So maybe that gives it a more consistent line. The Shuttle Art is somewhere in between, you know, the two of them. And, you know, like, I don't know, I would say the shape is a little bit closer to Marvy, but it really seems to sit right in the middle there. Okay, but the thing that I wanted to know, and I tested for here, is how black are these inks, okay? Is the chemistry the same? Is it different? Whatnot? To me, that Sharpie there looks darker than the Shuttle Art, and the Shuttle Art looks a little bit, I don't know. I would say it looks the same as the Amazon. I thought originally when I first drew it out, it looked a little bit different, but I would say that the Sharpie seems to be the winner, maybe, in terms of that little scribble right there. It looks like, I don't know, a couple of percentage points darker than these two, but it might not be the ink chemistry, it might be the tip chemistry in terms of there's more ink just simply flowing out as I do that little scribble on there, okay? All right, this is the comparison on the three here on cardstock. So this cardstock is clay coated, okay? It's just matte. So let's see here. But one of the things, see that right there? See that kind of that texture that's on there from the Sharpie. Whatever chemistry is in that Sharpie, I feel that that ink is kind of sitting on the surface of the paper a little bit more, and whatever that chemistry is in there, I feel it makes that Sharpie a little bit shinier because that ink is kind of more surface oriented as opposed to being kind of absorbed. The Amazon here and the Shuttle Art look pretty similar to me in terms of their chemistry. Like I said, I have a feeling that they could be made in the same factory, but they're just branded different, and one of them has a different tip. You know, that one just do the exact same thing. I don't know, maybe they do. But the inks look really similar to me. Just the tip is different. You can see that, you know, my little sloppy writing right there, and that one's a much more fine tip right there. Okay, glossy cardstock, all right, where this is going to be even less absorbent, okay? But can you tell the difference in black quality from here to here? So, right here in front of me, I can tell a little bit different. You're looking through, you know, app screen, you know, device screens and stuff like that too. The Amazon looks a little bit different, but it's just in terms of the tip here. So comparable, slightly darker. And that little swoosh thing, like I said, you can tell it's just really not feeding as much, okay? So anyways, that's my comparison right there. And price point's a factor, of course, with a lot of us. If you're getting something like getting your baseball cards or something like that signed, you know, the typical pen has always been like the Sharpie, okay? They want that consistency between someone's signature, you know, to be exactly the same at the end of that mark as in the beginning. They don't want it to kind of fade out where, you know, through capillary action, it's just absorbing in there, and before it's able to feed more ink, it just starts to get really faded off at the end there. So something like that. But, you know, if you're not doing like signatures or something like that, and people are being more careful, you know, and doing their artwork, you know, and whatnot. Let's see the Amazon. If you're doing, say, something like that, see, I don't see any difference between that, you know, that first line and that, what is it? I don't know, 7th line or something like that. So maybe it wouldn't matter. So I don't know. The Amazon Basics one with that hard tip point right there, maybe that one would last longer just in terms of the feed. The Shuttle art one would be somewhere in the middle, and I would think that that Sharpie one would run out the fastest. But if that extra little, you know, kind of percentage points in terms of value matter, then maybe that's still the way to go. I don't know, did I mention the price point of these? This 30 pack here, I don't know, just a few weeks ago was $7, and it seems to be going up $1 each week for this certain pack and configuration of these. So I don't know what the landing point's going to be, but at its cheapest, I've found like Sharpies at 50 cents each in multi-packs is a really good deal for that brand. The Amazons I found were about the same price as the sale price Sharpie ones. But the Shuttle art one here at $7 for 30, that's like half the best price of these ones that I've found. So if you're buying like hundreds and hundreds of these, then maybe that, you know, plays a significant factor in it. And if that 1 or 2 percentage points in terms of value, you know, doesn't really matter in terms of the price savings, then maybe that's, you know, something that you take into consideration. And what I'll do is, after I use these for, you know, a little bit more of a, or when the kids use them in school over an extended period of time, we'll do a comparison in terms of the longevity, in terms of how much ink is in these barrels here. I would imagine they're comparable to these other brands here. If they ran out after, you know, after a couple weeks or something like that, they wouldn't be selling these for very long. And like I said, I've used Shuttle art, you know, products before, and they work just fine, and I've used them over the course of, you know, over a year, and it's not like they're much cheaper than some name brand versions of those same you know, tools out there. So I don't know, I suspect that they're very comparable in terms of you know, their you know, how much ink is in these reservoirs here. So, but I'll put that in the description or my notes section underneath this video, you know, after a period of time when I can, you know, do a kind of a little bit more of an accurate assessment in terms of the quantity of ink in these. So anyways, I hope this video came in handy if you're, you know, kind of in the market for really any of these right here and are looking into especially some multi-packs where, you know, the price point becomes, you know, a reasonable factor. Okay, anyways, thanks for watching.